The little girl stood outside the school gates, with her backpack hanging from one shoulder and a dark bruise around one eye. Most people walked past without asking questions. Some teachers noticed, but she quietly insisted she had fallen deep inside. She wished someone would finally see the truth. She was too frightened to say aloud. Every afternoon, a group of bikers stopped at a nearby diner after their rides. They were big loud, covered in leather jackets and patches, but they always smiled at children who waved from passing cars. One rainy evening, the little girl wandered near the diner, holding a small drawing she had made. Gathering every bit of courage she had, she walked up to the oldest biker and whispered, "Will you be my dad?" The words froze everyone in place. The biker knelt to her level and gently asked why she had said that. She looked down, fighting back tears, and admitted she was scared to go home. She didn't ask for money or gifts. She only wanted someone who would make her feel safe. The bikers didn't rush to conclusions. They contacted the proper authorities and encouraged the girl to speak with a trusted counselor. Over the next few days, social workers and school staff began looking more closely into her situation. While the investigation continued, the bikers made sure she knew she wasn't alone. They brought books to community events, donated school supplies, and reminded her that there were good people willing to help. News of the girl's heartbreaking request spread through the local biker community. Riders from neighboring towns heard the story and wanted to show support, not through violence but through kindness and unity. They organized a charity ride focused on protecting children and supporting families facing difficult situations. On the morning of the school's anti-bullying awareness event, the sound of motorcycle engines echoed through the streets. One after another, dozens of bikers arrived, parking respectfully outside the school with permission from local officials. Their appearance surprised everyone, but their purpose was simple: to stand against bullying and remind every child that they mattered. Students lined the windows, amazed by the long row of motorcycles. Teachers welcomed the visitors who entered the school gym with warm smiles instead of intimidating expressions. They shared stories about overcoming hardship, making better choices, and helping their communities through charity work. The little girl watched from the front row. For the first time in weeks, she smiled without fear. One biker handed her a small teddy bear, wearing a tiny leather vest with the words, "You are brave," stitched across the front. Another reminded the students that true strength isn't about fighting, it's about protecting those who cannot protect themselves. The event had an unexpected effect. Several students, who had been silently struggling with problems at home, found the courage to speak with counselors. Parents thanked the school for creating an environment where children felt safe enough to ask for help. As the weeks passed, community organizations, teachers, counselors, and volunteers worked together to ensure the little girl received the care and support she needed. She was surrounded by people who listened, encouraged her, and helped her rebuild her confidence. The bikers continued visiting the school for charity events, reading programs, and fundraising rides. They became known not for fearsome appearances, but for generous hearts. Their message remained the same wherever they went. Every child deserves to feel safe, respected, and loved. Years later, the little girl stood on the same school stage as a confident young woman. Looking at the audience, she thanked everyone who had believed in her during the darkest chapter of her life. She explained that one simple act of compassion had changed everything. She ended her speech with words that left the entire room in silence. A real family isn't always the one you're born into. Sometimes it's the people who choose to stand beside you. When you need them most, the audience rose for a standing ovation, proving that courage, compassion, and community can change a life far more powerfully than fear ever could.